So just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Dan Wirt. I'm the director of esports at Bethel University up in Mishawaka. Part-time director right now, as we just got started. I was hired in April to really develop and launch the program. And I come at it from a different perspective than a lot of the coaches or directors you may have talked to or will talk to. I come at it from the business world. I currently work full-time for a company out of Salt Lake City. I'm the vice president of sales and marketing. My background is in sales, marketing, management, product development, everything like that, program development. Got a bachelor's in economics and business administration from Kalamazoo College and an MBA from IU. So at Bethel, though, that's what's really neat that I want you guys to understand is that you're going to learn skills that really go way beyond esports. And that's kind of part of my program as I've been talking to the kids and everything like that is I want these students to learn skills that they're going to be able to take out into the work world in whatever facility or whatever facet they're involved in. And so we focus on really developing leaders and helping you grow. And that's something that's really important. So obviously the fact that you're on here today kind of tells me that there's a lot of you that are interested in going to college and obviously hoping to be able to continue to play esports in college, earn scholarships, things like that. So I wanted to kind of start this presentation to really highlight some advice for you. When choosing a college to go to, you really need to think beyond esports. Some of the questions to look at, first of all, does it have the major or areas of study that you're interested in? What about the location? Is it rural, urban? How far from home? I know some people like to go to a college that's close by. Others want to get away and kind of forge their own path. For you and for Bethel, this is really nice actually, because we're only about 2 hours and 15 minutes north of Carmel in the Indianapolis area. So it's far enough away so you can kind of get away and forge your own path, but yet it's close enough that, hey, if you want to head home on the weekend to see the family or friends, you can do that and you're not traveling a huge distance. So that's important for some people. Another factor to consider is the size. Do you want to go someplace small, medium, large? I know at Carmel, it's a very large school. And so for you, maybe go into a big school is fine, is important. Maybe you want to go to someplace smaller to be able to get that better connection. Cost, that's another big factor. What financial aid and scholarships are available? What about the culture? What values does the school promote? And how will I fit in? So those are some of the different questions that you want to begin to ask yourself as you're looking at colleges and considering what type of a program and school and where you want to go to. So let me tell you a little bit about Bethel. Bethel University, it's located in Mishawaka, Indiana, up near South Bend and Notre Dame. We're a private Christian university of about 1,300 students, about 60% women, 40% men. One of the reasons why there's more women than men is because it's one of the top programs for nursing in the state of Indiana in our area. So that's one of the reasons there. Our mission is really to build lives of commitment for leadership in the church and in the world, whatever you want to do, whether it's in business, whether it's in engineering, whether it's in sales and marketing, whether it's in Christian ministry, education, psychology, whatever your passion is. Our mission is to really kind of help you build a commitment to leading and serving in whatever capacity, whatever job that you have. We have over 50 majors, including some of the most popular ones: business, computer science, math, psychology, Christian ministries, education, engineering, nursing. For those of you in engineering, we've got a partnership with the University of Notre Dame for a 3-2 engineering program where you go to Bethel for 3 years and then transfer to Notre Dame for a 2-year program. That's a pretty popular program of study. Students are primarily from Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Illinois, with the majority of people kind of being from about a 2 to 3 hour radius from the Mishawaka South Bend area. So that's kind of from a demographic standpoint. We have 30 athletic teams, which Esports is a part of, NAIA Division II schools. So our traditional athletics, they participate in the Crossroads League. So we're playing schools like Indiana Wesleyan and Taylor and Mount Vernon and schools like that. Over 40% of the students are part of an athletic team, so athletics is a big culture on Bethel's campus. And then tuition, room, and board is about just a hair under $40,000 for the year for annually. In terms of the culture, I spoke a little bit about that, and athletics really is kind of leads the campus when it comes to the culture and stuff. And there are really 4 pillars of the athletic program: spiritual formation, athletic development, servant leadership, like I talked about earlier about of helping these students build lives of commitment for leadership, and then also academic excellence. So those are sort of the 4 key areas that we really focus on at Bethel with our student athletes. So looking at our esports program, this is a brand new program. It was launched this fall. Like I said, I was hired in April and worked over the course of the spring and summer in developing and building the program. It is a co-ed varsity athletic team, so we're under the athletic department. It's not a club. It's a legit varsity team. Our current teams, we're fielding varsity teams in Overwatch, Rocket League, and Smash Bros. Future teams that I am recruiting for are League of Legends and possibly Valorant. League of Legends is probably more on the 2021 docket, whereas Valorant may be a 2022 program. It's just as far as depending on development and how things go. But our school is open to expanding the program. We compete in both the fall and the spring, so it's not just a 1 semester sport like some of the other sports are. We typically have about 15 to 20 matches per season per game title. Our schedule is on average about 4 days a week plus on your own work. So the 4 days a week, maybe 3 days of practice, or once we're into the competition schedule, that'll also include competition timeframes, plus an evening for a VOD review. And then on your own work is, things like physical training, just, queuing up and playing with some of your teammates in the evening, things like that. We compete in 2 different esports conferences. Our regional conference is the Great Lakes Esports Conference. There are 12 schools in that, with schools in Indiana and Ohio. The schools in Indiana are us, Manchester, Trine, and Grace. And then some of the schools in Ohio are schools like Ohio Northern, Tiffin, Muskingum, Marietta, Mount Union, schools like that. And then we also compete in the ECAC Esports Conference, and that's more of a semi-national program where there's about 70 to 75 schools this year and continuing to grow. So we will play schools from Pennsylvania, New York, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, New Jersey, Maryland, pretty much all over the area, and it just all depends on how it sets up. But the big thing is we're building just a solid foundation right now for the future, and that's the exciting part. If you want to be a part of building a growing program and building a solid program, then I would encourage you to consider Bethel, because we're kind of at that infancy stage right now. And that's sort of our goal here in the short term, is to build that solid foundation for future success. So let's talk a little bit about facilities. We are currently, just as you guys are kind of in the process of building something on campus and stuff, we thought we would be in our facility right now. It got pushed back due to COVID and stuff, and it's going to be open in December. But we will be partnering with the Bendix Arena and Land Center, which is inside the Century Center in downtown South Bend. These are some artist renditions. It will be a 500-seat arena, and then a separate land center inside that area. This kind of gives you just a general idea. One of the neat things that we couldn't do this year, obviously they were open, and it remains to be seen what happens in the spring, but we plan to host live in-person events, live tournaments, things like that inside that arena. And what they have is inside the Land Center, they have a little stage area for just some of the smaller competitions, where there are 12 PCs on some platforms and pods that would be able to move inside this theater arena for the live events. So that is something that we are looking at doing, and I think that's going to be really exciting, and it's something that I think is pretty cool. As far as some of the facilities, this is another on the left side here, just kind of shows you a general idea. The right side, that's an actual picture inside the arena, so you can kind of see how it's set up. It's kind of a 3/4 round stage where the players would be at their computers there, and they would have monitors for people to watch. They would have large, giant jumbotrons that they can put in and out. So it's certainly the potential for a pretty dynamic atmosphere that we're looking at. But we're partnering with them as kind of our home base. It's about 10 minutes away from campus. So what they will have is it's about a 2,500 square foot land center. It'll be open December 15th. PCs, they'll have Omen PCs, either BenQ or Viatech monitors, Red Dragon or Razer peripherals, and of course, most kids have kind of their own stuff that they can bring in and out, and that's completely fine. They'll have PS5, Xbox Series X console, locker room facilities. Then on campus, part of our long-term strategy is to have a dedicated practice facility for varsity team members only. Right now, we have a small space in the media building that our Rocket League and our Smash teams practice and compete in, because they're much smaller teams. We've got a dedicated network down there, so there's no issues with any overlap from any of the other internet. And then really players are going to be involved in the design process as we go forward. I'm already in discussions with our IT department on campus, and everybody's really behind the program. It's got a lot of high-level views at the administration level and even up to the president level. So there's a lot of people that are interested in the success of the program. So that's what's exciting about what we have. As far as As far as on campus here and what we're doing to recruit for the 2021-2022 season, which I'm recruiting for right now. Hang on a second here. So we are actively recruiting for several open positions. We are recruiting 3 to 4 spots for our Overwatch team, looking for Diamond and above. Rocket League, 3 to 4 spots, Champ 1 and above. League of Legends, which would be a new varsity team, so that roster is completely wide open. Looking for platinum and above. Super Smash Bros, we've got a young team right now with mostly freshmen and sophomores, but there's still opportunities for probably 1 to 2 spots there. And then this is interesting too for those of you who stream and are interested in kind of the streaming and casting and broadcasting aspect. We will offer, we're looking to have 1 to 2 people that would join our stream team and that would be responsible for streaming and casting all of our matches. So if you are knowledgeable about these games, you've played them yourself, you know, maybe you're not at the high level to earn a scholarship on the team side, we still want you on the broadcasting side. And that's something that's is unique and that not everybody may be able to offer. In terms of academics, kind of the minimum academics to consider, and this is really based upon national averages, 2.8 GPA, 1030 SAT, 21 ACT, those are all national averages right now. And important for this year only, I just spoke with admissions this morning to gather some more information because I told them I'd be speaking to you guys today. Tests are optional for this year. If you've taken it, that's fantastic. And when you apply, you could submit that information. But we just understand that with all the shutdowns and stuff, a lot of students have struggled to be able to take those tests. A lot of places haven't been open. So for this year, we are going test optional. So it's pretty much based upon your GPA and application and things like that. But what's most important for me, academics is number 1. Okay, I'll repeat that. Academics is number 1. I have 2 college students of my own. One is a senior at Bethel. One is a freshman at Indiana Wesleyan. And I am always on them in regards to their academics and how important that is. Plus the fact that, you know, I'm helping them with their funding for school. I feel that, hey, I've got a right to ask them about their schoolwork, but I personally place a very high value on academic performance, as I want players who are as committed to their education as they are to gaming. So that's number 1. Number 2, your soft skills, okay? This is things like, you know, your attitude, your personality, your character, overall character, communication, your professionalism, your work ethic, those types of things. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. If I reach out to you via email or on Discord or text or something, and I'm interested, let's say I found your recruiting profile online or something, and I send you an email or I send you a text and talk to you, even if you're not interested in that particular school, just acknowledge that the coach reached out to you. Respond to them and say, hey, thanks for reaching out, coach. I appreciate it. That's going to tell me, and that's going to tell a lot of these other coaches of schools that you're looking at, that you're professional, you can communicate, you are interested, that type of thing. And so that's something that I really want to stress to you. And then third is the gaming. I would rather have a lower ranked player, but who works really hard in the classroom and has a great attitude, than a master or grand champ that kind of has a selfish attitude or thinks that, you know, they don't have anything to really learn. Because at the end of the day, no matter what school you're looking at, esports is only going to be a small percentage of your time. You're going to spend a lot of time in the classroom and preparing for your future career and education. So that's why I kind of went back at the beginning and some of those questions to really look at and look at what's important outside of esports. If esports was taken away from you, would you still be interested in that school? And the answer should be yes. If not, if all you're doing is going to a school for esports and you're really not interested in the academics or program or whatever, I mean, that's something I would really caution you about, because you never know, what's going to happen. So academics 1, soft skills 2, and gaming 3. So looking at scholarships, how much can you earn? So the scholarship potential at Bethel is actually very, very good. Bethel is very generous in their academic and athletic scholarships. First, on the academic side, Bethel offers academic scholarships ranging in from about $8,000 to $16,000. And again, this year it's going to be based solely on your GPA. So for example, a 2.8 GPA probably will net you an $8,000 academic scholarship. A 3.0 to 3.2, it's probably going to bump up to 10,000. A 4.0 GPA, and you're probably getting $16,000 in academic scholarship. So that's why I really stress how important grades are. Also, there are need-based aid available. So state and federal grants, and when you and your parents complete the financial aid, the government financial aid form, that gives you an opportunity to earn additional state and financial and federal grants there. From an esports standpoint, we do offer esports scholarships, minimum $4,000 for, plat and above. We would evaluate that individually based upon, your skill level, based upon academics, your financial need. But in general, you're probably looking at, on average, $15,000 to $20,000 in combined academic or esports. So that's something definitely to consider. And finally, kind of for next steps for interested student athletes, before we get into a Q&A period, the steps kind of, first of all, are apply to Bethel. You can go to betheluniversity.edu and kind of check out and see all the different majors they have available. It is free to apply, which is nice. And again, it's test optional this year. The earlier you apply, the better. You'd send in transcripts and stuff. So typically our application is open, right now for seniors. It'll be open, I think, after the first of the year for juniors. But it is something that you can go ahead and do it right now. Schedule a visit. An individual visit anytime. I'm trying to put together an esports recruit day. If I can get a group of students on Friday, November 13th, that would be more of a group visit where I'd work with the admission staff, and it would be more of an all day type of a thing where you'd have an opportunity to really kind of see what it's like to be a student at Bethel. Complete the financial aid form. This is open now, October 1st. And complete, even if you think that, you don't qualify, or if your parents think, oh, hey, I make too much money, my kid's not going to get anything. I would encourage you to continue to do that, because most schools have additional financial aid that they could, offer to students. I believe Bethel is also doing some additional, grants for students who do apply for financial aid and complete the FAFSA. So I encourage you to do that, and you could do it as early as now. And then finally, fill out our esports recruiting form, bupilots.com. And then we've got, you can click on the sports tab, go to esports, and there's a recruit me form that you can easily fill out, and that'll come directly to me. So the sooner, don't wait. The sooner that you apply and complete the above task, the sooner you're going to get an award letter, esports scholarships offers that you can entertain, kind of for the future.